The director of the Lord of the Rings trilogy and a war documentary. Is that a good idea? What do you think, R2? He thinks so. They Shall Not Grow Old is a war documentary based on a war that doesn't really get a lot of attention, the First World War, also known as the Great War, and it's directed by a director who made these masterpieces, Peter Jackson, and this is a war documentary by every standard there is. But the biggest draw here is that they remastered the footage and they added sound to this. They remastered the color and they added sound, which added a whole new dynamic to this war documentary that I was expecting it to be quite different, and by far it was. By far different than any other documentary I've seen. Look, I'll tell you, man, this film is absolutely incredible. Like, just how immersive it is and how you're able to... What the bloody hell are you talking about, mate? Are you actually bloody serious right now? You going to tell these people that this movie is actually good? Are you bloody serious, mate? This movie is bloody awful. The first half of the movie is just another boring war documentary. It's just a big setup, and then when it actually gets to the kind of interesting stuff, I guess with the color and everything like that, it just falls short, mate. It falls
Nigel,
bloody short.
shut
Have a
up.
bloody channel, mate. You shouldn't even have a bloody YouTube channel. You're not even that good of a critic, mate. I don't know why you're on here. Anyway, so yeah, you shouldn't even listen to this man. He's a bloody fool. He's a bloody fool.
Nigel,
He's a bloody
listen
fool.
to me.
Trust
Nigel,
me. I'm not.
listen.
I've been with
Listen,
him all
man.
my life,
Look,
mate.
if you're
He's
gonna
a
keep
bloody
doing
fool.
this,
Don't listen to this.
Nigel,
man.
listen. If you're gonna keep doing this, me and you are gonna take a walk back to the streets, okay? You wanna go back to the streets? You wanna go back? Huh? Cause I'll gladly take you there, man. You don't have to stay here, okay? Look, you can go back to where you came from, okay? Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry about him. And even though I hate Nigel, he did make a good point that some people are not gonna like the first beginning of this movie because it is really slow and it reminds you of every other documentary you probably see until you get to the actual part where they remaster it, and that's actually when it gets like really good. Before that, it's just kind of a setup to that. But I love documentaries, so I didn't really mind it. This is World War I like you have never seen it before. There's literally times where people are grabbing branches or clamping through the mud and you hear the sounds. It's absolutely incredible because you really get to feel what it's like to be in there. Instead of just watching it and feeling distant from it, like it's some piece of history, you feel like you're actually there with the soldiers. That made it so much better than most documentaries you see about the First World War. And of course, Peter Jackson's inspiration for this film came from his grandfather. His grandfather fought in the First World War, so that's why he kind of wanted to take this on to almost like a love letter to his family almost, but also telling the story of these soldiers that were on the front lines in the trenches during World War I. And I really think that's where Jackson gets his motivation to let this be a narrative told through the soldiers themselves instead of having historians or things like that try to tell what happened in the war. You actually had the people that were there telling the story, and it's way more compelling and you get more of a human experience from it. And one of the pluses of that, I thought, was how you really get to see the mindset of a lot of these soldiers. A lot of them are actually happy to be there, happy to serve their country, to fight Germany. They're proud to serve their country, even at like 14 to 15 years old. But yeah, I think this being told from a more personal perspective really added a more emotional side to the film. It allowed it to be something more than just what happened, but more so what it was like there. And just gets to the technical side of things, Peter Jackson's team recoloring this thing did a fantastic job at this recoloring of the film they had, because there was a lot of films that they used that looked like they shouldn't be able to use them at all. Sometimes the clip would be too white, too bright, you can't see anything, or sometimes it'd be too dark, or there'd be stains on it, you really can't tell what it looks like. But then they were able to fix all that somehow and make it look immersive. Not to mention the way they were able to create sounds in here were actually amazing. They got actual voice actors to replicate what the soldiers back then would have sounded like. And there's even one scene where a soldier is reading a piece of paper, like a speech he's about to give to his comrades, and you can't really tell what he's saying by just looking at his lips, but somehow they were able to read his lips, get professional rip leaders, and like find out what he was saying exactly, and they made the speech come alive where you can actually feel what he was saying. I think it was a pretty fitting title, They Shall Not Grow Old, because it does in a way recreate history with what they were able to do with remastering it. So to wrap it all up here, I would say that They Shall Not Grow Old is really a documentary that does more than just tell a story, but it puts you in the footsteps of the people that were actually there, and it lets those people that were actually there tell the story from their point of view. And it's going to be a movie experience
experience like you've never seen before, because you never really get to be immersed in something that's actually real life, or at least something this old in real life. So yeah, I had an absolutely fantastic time watching this movie. So I'm gonna give They Shall Not Grow Old a 9 out of 10.
Oh, bloody hell.
So yeah, guys, let me know down below what you thought of this movie, if you've seen it, or if you haven't seen it. Are you excited to see this movie, or are you not really into documentaries like that? I would love for you guys to let me know down in the comments below. And also subscribe if you want to see more future content like this, if you want to.
So go check out my future channel, Nigel Reviews. It's going to be lit, mate. It's going to be bloody lit. I hope you enjoy.
Are you promoting your own channel on my channel?
I'm talking. Mate, I am bloody talking right now. Do not interrupt me. Anyway.
Is this seriously happening right now? Is he actually saying this stuff?
I'm sorry about that.
Dude, shut up.
Fine, mate. Let the bloody people see how bloody awful you are.
Nigel, please stop. Sorry about that. And as always, guys, I'm Chase Lee. If you want to see more future content like...
Oh my god. You are so cringy, mate. You the cringiest person I ever met in my entire life. You're so awkward.
If you want to see more future content like this, you can click right here after I disappear.
Oh my god, please don't do it, mate. Please don't. Oh my god, that is so cheesy, mate.